And we're live. Hey, right up early, Bob George.
With me.
Hello.
Hello.
Of your imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
Good morning, everybody. And Alexandra Rezka, she put a question mark.
Well, she's probably wondering what we're doing. So,
I know.
why don't you
So,
tell that?
what we're doing today is class. We're talking about why our children lie, part 2. And reason why is
Hi,
my little book. Hello, lovies. Hello, lovies.
Okay.
And we have brotherly love going on in here.
Do you hear that?
That is time for you to go check whatever's in your thing and leave me alone. How dare you? Okay. So on Monday's show, right? Monday? Yeah, Monday. We were talking about the deception of children, why they lie, and the effects of the family kind of stuff. Why they lie, getting down to the nitty gritty, and the things, the effects of the punishments and what they, or the consequences of their actions. And is it 1:30 there? Okay. Yeah, it's 11:34 here. So with all that, we need to go into the conversations that we have with our kids and the appropriateness of what we talk about with them and what they, view on television and what they see. Like if we take them to a sporting event, what's appropriate for what ages and whatnot. Like for instance, I personally wouldn't take a 3-year-old to a boxing match. I know NTB wouldn't either. let's change that view right now.
Too close for comfort. Sorry about that.
Closest right up close and personal. So, it's just what we say to our kids makes an effect on how they react to us, how they react to their siblings, how they react to their friends. And just as much as, sometimes we want to tell them exactly what's on our mind when they're lying to us, we should hold back and take a breather and remember they are only such and such age and, take it from there. We've all been the age of the children. And, they will continue to grow and progress, and we are needing to be there for them in every aspect. When a lot of us, I know, look up information online and, what the things we should or should not say to our kids. And it's getting very weird out there comparatively to like 50 years ago. They'd be lashing their kids with belts and rulers and whatnot in the schools and at home. And now it's like you touch your kid in some states and like just touch them and their kid can be like, I'm abused, blah, blah, blah. And they take
a kid can call the cops on their parents like when they're just in trouble, which is
And I saw a video of that once and the cop like told the kid, you're lucky that it wasn't something worse. She took away your phone. That's not a reason to call the cops on your parents. And, it was
irony.
I know. And it was just, kids are thinking that they have more authority than the parents. And that's not how it should work at all. You don't have more authority than your boss at the job. You don't have more authority than, God. And I'm not saying we are God, but we are parents just like he is our parent. And we should have and teach our kids the same respect that we have for God, that, kind of stuff. And then in turn, I think that they will show respect to us if we show the respect to our authorities. And
example, right?
Yep. Right. We lead by example. So did you want to bring up that Parents Magazine?
The article?
Or
so yeah, I just put an article, had her put an article in the description. It talks about the different stages and ages of life for kids. It's just an article in the Parents Magazine. Take what fits, okay, and the rest leave, obvious as everything.
Yeah,
we do. Research stuff. If you have questions, don't just leave it up to somebody else to give you the answer. Seek it out and find it, because as you learn and your child sees you doing this, right? You're not making up something to tell them if they have a question. They're not going to make up something to give you back.
That's called lying.
Okay, so we're doing examples. So when you're searching out, answers, it's going to teach them to think critically and also do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have to teach yourself right now because you weren't taught before.
Yep.
Because we're living in a world where that's just
not your imagination.
Research. Someone will just tell you a BS answer.
Google. Just ask Google. Did you Google it? No.
Like maybe search on something that's not biased. Try DuckDuckGo or some of the other platforms to search to make sure that you're getting perspectives that will help to ensure you're on the path you'd like to be on.
Yeah, something that just popped in my head. When I was a manager at a telemarketing firm here in Utah, we would have to take, manager calls. Because we were the
managers.
And managers.
Crazy.
And one of my managers before I became a manager, I would ask him a question and he'd be like, what, that's a really good question. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer for you at this time. But I'll do my best to get that answer for you. And, I've always taken that into my talking with my kids and with like friends and stuff. That's a really good question. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer for you at this time.
But you've also taught them where to go for answers.
Yeah.
That they don't have, especially like Bible or, where online or who to talk to you trust.
Yeah. And like I'll have my kids like talk to Bree, for instance. She's my sister.
It's brand new information.
I know this is brand new information, guys. And this is probably very confusing with me dressed like this and still acting the same way. But
I'm confused. I'm knocked out of my brain cells. What? Who am I talking to?
It's funny because these are my prescription glasses that I don't really need. But whoa, don't take them off like that.
Yeah, you don't need
anyways,
them. You're
really
gonna be
don't.
40. You should wear your glasses.
My doctor said my last appointment I don't need glasses if I don't want to wear them, and I don't want to wear them. I'm just wearing them today because you're like, you should dress up like school teacher. And
I said librarian, but
it's a school teacher, same thing.
It really is. I feel like I'm 5 right now. Like, oh, I have to be good.
Anywho, sorry. Anywho, sir.
Oh no, we just got Canadian. Welcome our Canadian friends.
We do a lot of genres here. We do a lot of different accents and what's not.
All the what's nots.
All the what's nots.
No snots. I heard snots. All the snots.
What's nots? I have to emphasize the break in there.
I feel like I could chew some paper and like spit it through this at you right now.
Yeah, don't
You
do that.
wouldn't
You
even
put
know.
tobacco everywhere.
That's true.
Up and it goes
But I mean,
fire.
if you
I'd be
know
back.
stuff.
Anyways,
Sorry.
back to the point at hand.
And that is
Yep, with the same birthday, Bob. Very good. Very
yes.
good. Same birthday.
It's like we're twins.
Thanks, babe. I know, right? It's 2 years apart. Anyways, I was silent.
Hold on. We got to get back on track, but really quick before we do that,
Yeah.
I have to say this out loud. I licked you
Loud?
first.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
why? Why? She told me this the other day.
Last night.
Was it? That's still the other day.
No.
It wasn't today. She's like, hey, I'm going to tell you something about us. I'm like, okay. And she goes, I licked you. I'm like, thank you. Please tell me it was when you were a toddler and I was first born. And she goes, it was 5 days later.
It was like she knew already.
And you know that phrase of if you lick something, it's yours? You're mine.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank
lick
you
it, it's mine.
for that. I could see a toddler doing that, so I'm hoping it was when you were a toddler.
You should tell them the rest while we're on to that.
I don't know what rest you're
Your
talking
40th
about.
birthday.
No! No. We're not reinstating that.
We should reenact.
No, I'm good. I'm
It's a
good.
ceremonial, like, rite of
I'm
passage.
Anyways,
You're
back to the inappropriateness of conversations.
That was not inappropriate. It's just weird.
And go.
As you will.
As you were.
She
So
can't resist.
with the conversations that we have with our kids, like we wouldn't, if our kids are asking questions about certain things, what are you doing?
I'm trying to pay attention and not be silly. I'm trying to be serious.
Hey, that is not
40
serious
licks
at
for your
all.
birthday.
No.
I love you, Amber. That's awesome.
She's threatening to lick my head. No. It's forbidden.
Age appropriateness, as you were. I'm paying attention. Trouble.
Troublemakers. All of you. And anyways, I think I've said anyways like 5 times now.
If you look back, it's probably 11.
Shut it. Okay. So when we're talking to our kids, if they're asking us questions about certain things, I think it's good to talk to them about it in, still their age frame. You know, if they're 5 and they're asking questions, where do babies come from? Well, they come from mommy's tummy. They don't need to know the details.
Magic.
Bill Engvall talks about this. They would just want to know that it comes from mommy's tummy. They don't need to know the ins and outs of all the other things.
Oh my.
No, Bob George. His internet keeps crashing today. You should change directions to go on a smoother path. Just kidding. Keep crashing. That was the biggest, fakest laugh I've ever heard.
Your face was like, I couldn't maintain. Anyway, no more crashing.
No more crashing. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open.
Are your eyes open?
Are your eyes open? My eyes are open. Your eyes are very open.
Okay. Yes,
And
keep it appropriate for the age.
Keep it appropriate for their ages.
And basic answers.
Now, if they're 13 or 14 and ask, Mom, where do babies come from? Or Dad, where do babies come from? Well, what have you learned in school? And we'll go from there.
Right?
You know, or what have you heard? You tell me what you know about it, and then we'll go from there.
And then you're going to be sitting there with taking notes going, man, you could do that?
I didn't know.
So maybe have a talk before then. Just
yeah. I say no, now 10 is a good one. Anyways.
Yes. But as with all of this stuff, we want to keep it informational and true.
Right.
Right? Because if you lie to your kids, then that's how they're going to definitely learn to lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
So when they ask questions, the very basic answer. And if they ask more questions, that's when you get more in depth. But keep it basic until it's like, well, what happens when this happens? Okay, let's sit down and have a chat.
Okay, we'll wait till we get home for that one.
Or, roll up the windows, just have a chat.
It was just like, I think of scenarios where like we've been at the store and all of a sudden your kids say something that's like so not okay for the store.
What's an example? I want to know.
No. And it's just something that you talk about at home.
No examples?
Not off the top of my head. I just know that it happens and it has happened. And I just can't remember what it is right now. I think I blocked it out. But
so traumatic for you.
In front of people. And I think it was when it wasn't even like it was when Maylee was little and she says something about booze, but it wasn't alcohol. It wasn't alcohol. It's what she called things of mine. And and I'm just like
it reminds me of Urkel. Bazoo!
Why?
There are lots of whys.
There's lots of whys.
You know what a really good answer to that is?
Because.
No.
What? Answer to what? Why?
Yes, if it's a why and it's an incestuous why, is to get them involved in something. It means they want to learn, but they need action with their body, right? So you move them into action. Have you ever wondered something so much, you studied as much as you could or asked as many questions, and it fascinated you to the point that you wanted to actually give it a try? Think of cooking. The best thing you ever cooked, you looked up the recipe. You maybe even saw someone making it before you looked up the recipe.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're like, that looks amazing, right? So this incessant why that little kids have, which I have loved and enjoyed adults going crazy. Because it's my favorite. I'm like, that's all day for you.
I did it to our son the other day. I'm like, but why? But why?
But if you get them involved in something, right?
Right.
Get them actively participating, then their whys turn into like that sponge that their brain is. And it just soaks up what they're doing. And their whys lead them into action, which is where we want them to be anyway.
Right.
Participating in their learning, right? Participating in life instead of watching a screen forever.
Right. Because the screen time is not a good time for that kind of stuff.
Not if it's the only thing that they have.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like the parents sometimes have to like check out.
Yeah.
And so they're like, here's a movie, ta-da. That I get. But if it's
Yeah.
like 8 hours a day,
Yeah, that's not okay.
it bugs me to do that.
Mhm.
I'm like, get your hands in there, get it, watch the walls, whatever it is. Move your body.
Yeah, I had my daughter wash the walls the other day because she wanted to clean.
Oh, that's awesome.
She washed off one of my sayings on the wall. I'm like, no, not that part.
You wrote
That
on
is
the
not
wall.
I do. I write on my walls. I write little quotes or sayings all around the house. And
So she did what you asked her to do.
she did what I asked her to do, but I said, don't touch these too. I said, don't wipe here. And she goes, exactly what I told you not to do.
It's like she's a little Jamelia.
I don't know what you're talking about. But you said to wash the wall. I was washing, not the words off the wall. Wash the dirt off the wall.
Did
It's
you
not like we have
feed
a dirty
her?
house.
Did you feed her raisins?
I did not. Like making non fluid? Non-natonium? Natonium fluid? What the heck is non-natonium fluid?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't do that. Like, just find out what it is. And if it's,
fluid.
let's go. You know what? I honestly don't have it in my brain right now. Explain, Amber. But her daughter knew like a very scientific explanation for this big word.
Oh,
and she was blown away how smart her daughter was, which I think a lot of parents are. Just blown away how much they can retain and just spit back at your face. And you're like, oh, no, I don't know what it is.
What is it?
But the cool part about that is when your child learns something and then they teach it to you, it solidifies it in their head and you have all new information.
It's true.
Right? So you grow with your children. Just like it's their first time being 2 and 3 and 4.
Yep.
It's your first time being 102 and 103 and 104. So we learn together.
We're not that old.
I know, but it's fun to say.
Yes.
Your point is well taken, though. I agree with the basic answer until questions evolve. So should your answers evolve?
Sorry, I'm trying to.
That's right. That's right. Cornstarch and water. It's both fluid and a solid.
Oh yeah, when it sits.
Ta-da!
It's like the slime thing that they used to do. Now they make it with glue and stuff.
Yay! Not toxic glue.
Yeah. The Elmer's glue. Not super glue. That would be bad.
Although it would be funny to watch.
Just don't put it on your hands. And you'll be good. Or
in your hair. What's that about?
I know.
We don't have to say anymore. We know. Everybody knows who I'm talking about.
We do?
Don't put glue in your hair.
Do not. Do not. Okay,
that's
and then
our PSA.
Wait.
Yes.
Yes, public service announcement for today. Don't put glue in your hair.
Ta-da.
Any glue.
She says it's slime.
No slime. She said no slime.
No slime. I guess glue is slimy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go on.
Because I said slime.
I don't know. I love you, Amber.
So the next portion was to make sure that you and your partner are backing each other up in the stuff that goes on with your kids. Because they will learn how to pin you guys against each other and how to manipulate the situation in a way that you get mad at each other about things rather than being mad at the child about what they are in trouble for.
They're so sneaky.
Oh, they are.
Good at learning.
They are, and they learn it from a lot of things. What's doing, babe?
I love being on TV. So.
Yeah, you love being on TV. So she loves being on TV so much. And by TV, she means our TV downstairs that has YouTube. I love you. Mama. Yeah, why are you so cold?
She's the one that washed the walls.
Yeah, she's the one that washed the walls.
But toothpaste.
with toothpaste.
Ta-da!
Yeah, because we were getting off black marks that someone put on them.
Mm.
Wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
What do you
Yeah, don't do it. No glue in there. Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
Watch a different show downstairs.
No, not right now.
Can I watch a show on your phone?
Not right now.
Please?
Nope.
Please?
Go do what I asked you to do, please. Go do it.
Better do it.
Go find your
She
dad.
has those serious librarian face.
Are you going potty?
Mhm.
Okay, just go sit with Bubba on the chair, on the couch. Okay? Go downstairs. Go downstairs.
Mommying in action. Da-da-da.
Okay, now. So I know everybody's had a situation like I was just talking about where your child comes to you and you ask them why they did what they did, no matter what it is, and they'll either lie to you and then tell the other parent something different, or they'll just straight up lie about everything, and the other parent will back the child up rather than backing you up. And
Hempsworth coffee.
we have had a lot of that go on in the past here, and this one has started trying to do the same thing, which is not going to work over too well.
Do you need a moment?
No, she's got a drink, and I think she's going back downstairs, right? Going downstairs? Okay.
I want to go play with her.
Well, come over and then you can.
Come get me.
I can't.
We don't live
Yes.
close, y'all.
Help
We live
mommy, daddy. It's like 3.5 hours away. I mean, that's closer than across the nation, but
Yes, it is.
you know, it's like across the mountains. Yes, Bob George. Help mommy and daddy. Because we all need help at some point or another. And I think it's amazing when the kids just kind of step up and see that you're struggling or something. Hey, very nice, very nice. And we'll just kind of step in and help. Like our oldest, when she was 5 or 6, she was being really quiet, and I was like, what is she doing? And I can't remember if it was after I had Zoe or before. Like I was still pregnant. Yeah.
Thing?
No, that was way before.
Oh,
that was when
okay.
you were living with us.
I thought so, but
Yeah, no, that was when she was like 1.5 or 2 or something.
I think she was
Anyways, no, she was because we moved down to Kanab before she was 2. Anyways, that she was being really quiet, and I was trying to find her, and she was in the bathroom. I'm like, Rue, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm cleaning the bathroom. She was like down with a sanitizer wipe, just cleaning the floor, and so I took pictures of it. I'm like, oh, I didn't even ask you. Thank you so much. She's like, you're welcome. And she's just cleaning the floor. I'm like, you're so cute. And so I took pictures, and she has her hair all up. She has her little pajamas on. She still has those pajamas, by the way.
That's freaking awesome.
And now they actually fit her. She's 16 now. She was so tiny when she was little, and because she was actually little, and but she's kind of always been like that. Just the one
Bye,
that
George.
kind of
Love your
stepped in.
face.
Oh, okay. See you, Bob George. Have a good day. God bless you. And so it's been, just to see the different personalities in every one of them. Our 2 middle ones, they're so much alike, and like so much alike. It's crazy how much they're alike. And they're boy and girl, totally the same personality on some aspects and totally opposite on others. But one is very boisterous, and one tries to be boisterous. But like their moods and stuff are pretty dang similar, like to the T.
And their
And so
swings.
And their swings, yes. Yeah, they swing like the best of them.
Yeah,
far
because
as
she's
moves
so
go.
much like you.
I know. Well,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
what the parentals said. She's just like you, Jamie. Like, I'm sorry.
Hope you have a girl that's just like you.
I never heard that though, unless I just like blocked it out or something. But I never heard that.
Oh, it
Like-
was said plenty.
Was it?
Oh, plenty. Mhm.
I don't remember.
Well, you were a good kid,
Well, thank you.
relatively.
Thank you.
On the national scale, I'd rank you up there in the top 1%.
Thank you. Wait, for what?
Good kid.
Okay, like mischievousness? What are we going with?
Oh, no.
But I mean, the one thing that I always have gone by at my dad's house, they, if we went to ask our dad if we could have something or whatever, he'd be like, "Well, did you ask mom?" And he'd be like, either yes or no. And if we said no, then he'd go, "Okay, go ask mom." And so we'd go ask mom, and she'd be like, "Well, did you ask dad?" Yes. What did he say? He said to come ask you. Or vice versa. It would be the same with both of them. And I loved that as an example for parenting because I try to do that here. And dad will say, "Well, your mom's the boss. Go ask her." And that's been like the saying for the last, almost decade. And so it's interesting when the kids try to play us against each other now versus then, before all the awakeningness and everything. And just the awesome factor of it versus the non-awesome factor. And when, hey, yeah, just like how before it was so we were against each other rather than with each other. And, when you come to the realization that, your kids are going to grow up and leave, your spouse, your partner is there with you till the end, unless differences happen and blah, blah, blah. But if you, but if you always remember that you need to have your back, that you guys need to have each other's backs, and go through it together rather than trying to do it just all up to one parent or one partner. It's got to be a togetherness factor because they will push your buttons, they will push you apart, and as long as they see you guys doing it together and reacting together on it in a unified way, then there will be no getting between you guys. And that's, I think, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say to have a strong front.
Yes.
I almost said full front. So I'm glad you stopped me because that's not the same. Don't do that.
Maybe.
Let's not do the full frontal. No. No.
But it's just like super, super important to, talk about the stuff. Like if you get together when, it's your first marriage and there's no kids or anything, it's a huge deal to talk about when you're getting to know someone of, how would we discipline the kids? What do we do if they're lying all the time? What do we do? And these are the things that come up later in life. I mean, obviously it's not going to happen in the first, 2 years of the baby's life. Not usually, So it's important to have that as a staple in your relationship that you're going to have. My dog decided to come and visit me. That it's important to have that as a staple in your relationship, that you're always going to be unified in it. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, and there's any question, any guess, any wiggle room for any of it, then that is going to come between you two. And that's what we're trying to prevent, to have you guys as a unified front rather than, thank you. How about you take a potty? Is Dad going potty right now?
No.
Are you sure? Yeah. He just came up, so don't just walk in there. Sorry. So it's extremely important to, know the role of each parent, what you're going to specify, what you're going to be specifically doing, like in ours, I usually I'm in charge of all the home stuff. So like the discipline, the, what they're going to be eating, what time limits are on things, what they're going to be studying because we do homeschooling, stuff like that. And I love the fact that he wants to get more involved in that. And so I've had him, she's no teacher anymore. So I've had him, take on some of the stuff with Maddox because, they're both boys. And a lot of times it comes out differently when it comes from dad versus coming from mom. And if they, in the succession of that, it's going to be a huger aspect than just mom said I have to do this. And then
Because of the united front,
right,
it presents a greater standard because there's a greater force behind it, right, to enforce.
Yeah,
Unified
exactly. Front. Unified front is essential. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I had. Did you want to add some stuff to it?
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you guys have used a lot of scriptorial basis for your parenting.
Yeah, right? And what's funny about that is I wasn't necessarily trying to do that. It's just stuff that we've always been taught, through our parents and through, our church stuff that we've done and through just, common sense.
I mean, you hope it would be common sense.
I would think so.
But, I mean, we tend to pass on the way we were parented.
Yeah.
Right? In our parenting.
Learn from the way we were parented.
And we would, ideally, want to take the best part of that and then improve on the stuff that we think could be improved.
Right.
And all of us would be doing it for the first time. There's nobody who's a parent for the first time who's done it before. That's not how that works. So you can't have both. So
it's totally different if you're watching your siblings versus your own children.
It's hilarious.
Totally different.
I love it.
And
it's so great.
Even when your children act like your little siblings did, it is not the same.
No. And you can't respond to your children like you did your siblings. Hopefully throw that out there. Because it's not them.
It's true.
But I like this scripture, which is why I'm glad you put it up. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things that are right. Okay? So when we become parents or we have an opportunity to help with children, it's awesome to know that love should be the foundation. However, I think we need to make sure that there's action involved. All right? Because action
speaks louder than words.
Yes, but it proves words.
Yep.
Or it disproves words.
Yep.
And when somebody tells you something, I'm going to do this, and they don't do it, automatically you're going, what's happening here? Kids see patterns much faster than adults do, generally speaking, because their brain is constantly monitoring everything and soaking it in. Yep. So if parents can say, I'm going to do this, and make sure you do that, and they don't do this, their kid's not going to feel like doing that.
Yep, exactly.
So it's a really important thing to have action, because they're just little Jamies running around all over the place.
Jamies and Chads.
And Chads, yes, I'm sorry. It's just you're the one right here.
Yeah.
But yes, and the Chads as well. And so they're going to follow your path. You're guiding them right now. Right? Whatever the biggest influence in their life is, that's what they are learning to become. So I think it's wonderful to have love. But love without works is same as faith without works.
It is dead.
So he's very, very good. What the? That's my name.
Very good.
Is that the name of my YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's how I looked yours up. Was just in
Hey, that's me. Learn something new all the time.
that's hilarious. You just saw that. I've put it up like probably 10 times.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. But different mindset,
That's true.
different viewage.
It's true.
I think we should. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was going to say, do one of your songs.
Go ahead. Yeah. Which one?
Is that okay? There, you guys did. Who did Supercalifragilistic? You did the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that one was so fun, and I liked it.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I try.
Some fun times together. I'm talking.
Of it. You were talking when I was singing.
I was talking the whole time.
Well, then you froze because I didn't see you
I
talking.
probably
Or hear
did.
you talking at all.
I was like waiting for you to go. I'm the teacher. I'm like, because I did that a lot in class. I'm like, I'm busy.
Troublemaker.
I'm so troublemaker. I just think it's fun to have fun.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Cause I was afraid to speak when I was just a lad. My father gave me just a tweak and told me I was bad. But then one day I learned the word biggest word you've ever heard, and this is how it goes. Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. And if you say it loud enough, you'll always have precaution. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Everywhere he went, he used his word and
That goes a clever gent.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always have precaution. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm gonna diddle and lie. I'm gonna diddle and lie. I'm gonna diddle and lie. That's it for
They're trying so hard.
Better use it carefully or it'll change your life. For example, yes. And now the girl's your wife.
I love it.
Lovely exchange she is too. She's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. 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 Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I love them. I would have loved to
Yes,
see
they
them
did
do
such a
it.
good job. Yeah, they were like trying to read it really fast. And yeah, it's weird how they had the diddle I part. It was like diddle diddle I. So the girls were like emphasizing the
Diddle diddle.
diddle diddle I. Diddle.
It's important to have fun with them.
It's for sure.
It's really important. I think when you set boundaries, it's important to keep them.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yep.
But in the world, it's kind of crazy because school will teach them one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to come back and you're trying to unteach them something they were taught.
Yeah, we had a situation like that.
Tell me.
So the teacher, Maddox's teacher, was basically telling the kids if they think he's wrong, they need to tell him.
Okay.
And to prove him wrong.
Okay.
When he's, on different aspects and everything.
Right.
And then Maddox started doing that with me. And I'm like,
I'm not that person.
Excuse you? And he was fighting me on stuff. I'm like, okay, why are you doing this? You do not get to try to prove me wrong.
Right.
You will be hurting if you do. Because, I'll tell him not to do something. And he'll be like, well, if I do it this way, then I can't. No, you can't. Because if you do it this way, you are still going to get hurt.
I
Something
see.
to that effect. And
Hey, have fun. Love you.
see, Amber, thanks for joining us
Little
today. A little bit. And it was just like, or stuff like we were just anything we were talking about, he was trying to prove me wrong. And I said, I think it's wrong that your teacher is doing this in the aspect of you're trying to prove everybody wrong now.
Right.
If they're going to do that in class, that's fine. As long as they specify, just while we're in class, if you think I'm wrong on something, help me prove it right. Not go to your family's house and then just say everybody's wrong and you're right about everything and you're going to find it. And, because that was the spirit that was coming off. And I'm like, that's not how it works.
Right. Don't pick apart every single conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, and so when you said that, I was like, mm-hmm. Or, when they think the teachers are more right than the parents. And I'm just like, well, my teacher said this. I'm like, well, your teacher's wrong.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a common thing. I think that was common when we were kids too.
yeah.
And
probably.
there are times when kids do come home with something that the parent doesn't know,
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll show it to them and the parent will tell them they're wrong. But they can't grasp the concept to tell them where they're wrong at.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, but I would agree with you in the spirit of it.
Yeah, I'm saying if you know and you're trying to teach the kids something, and all of a sudden, well, you're wrong. My teacher said it was this way. Excuse you? No.
Right? Like talk it through. But
yeah.
Just start out with, "Hey, you're wrong." He always calls right when like.
Hey, we're doing the live.
That's my baby. That's him right there. That's my man, baby. Right there. Okay. So, keeping with the theme of what's going on here, I love listening to your kids sing because it's so fun. Any kids, really. I think kids are just the purest, most beautiful.
So sweet.
Little ones ever. But you know what else I love? I'm going to go off on a little tangent here for a second. I love baby animals. I love baby everything, really. Babies are just the sweetest little thing. And peoples. It's I don't know. They're sweet.
They're the innocence of the world.
Right. And because they're so innocent, it's up to those who are in charge of them to guide them. And I think this idea that it's up to the schools to raise our children has got to be just completely smashed.
Yeah, because that's a bunch of bull hockey.
I think it's partly, if not a lot, more than partly, the reason why our situation in our world is as it is. Because we believe what's on the screen instead of what's in our hearts.
In front of us.
That's messed up. Stop it.
Stop it. They trust the television more than they trust their guts.
Don't do it anymore. Excuse me. Stop. That's his singing.
We have moments.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to take these off now. Done with my spiel.
Oh, look. Jamili is coming back. Oh, welcome back to us. That was cool, though. That was nice. Whew.
I haven't been able to play with my hair.
Where you go nuts?
Drive me nuts.
That's awesome. What's your favorite part about being a mom?
Being a mom. Seeing their personalities come out and, having the conversations with them and how their little minds work and seeing how they discover things for the first time. And I love it when they're little and they're kind of in awe of everything that happens. Like when you're baking a cake for the first time for them or something, and they're just like, oh, it was liquid and now it's solid. And
I didn't set the timer.
oh no, it's been about 40 minutes. Did you want to go check it?
I didn't see if Cindy will. I'm gonna have a crispy cake.
Crispy Critches. And just, how like their first steps or their little shuffle around the floor and their we had do you remember when our brother would be in the bongity?
Bongity bongity. Yeah,
That
the
would
thing
be
hung in the door.
yeah,
right?
the
There's like the bouncy
Jumpin'
chair.
Johnny or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had the alternative to that or whatever it was called.
Mhm.
Where it was
The
like the self-standing one. And it was a kangaroo jumper. And just watching, I think Zoe and Maylee were in something like that.
Mhm.
And just watching their little legs just like, boing, 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 and they're just like bouncing like crazy. And they're just laughing and sometimes they fall asleep in them. And their face is like face planted down inside of it. And it's just so cute. Or like when they're eating and they fall asleep while they're eating and then they're like,
Oh my goodness. They're just
and then
falling
they're still
asleep.
looking for stuff and then
They are like drunk people. But like
yeah. But it's, not, and it's innocent and all that other fun stuff.
Yeah.
And
I love it. I love it.
it's just so cute. And
I wanna add to that, but keep going.
okay, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to show this because when I'm having like a super hard day, I do this with the babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me so happy. Like so happy.
Like just watching the babies laughing and
It's frozen. It was
it's
too funny.
It's a wipey or something, isn't it?
It's just paper. It's just so funny. Look at that.
And they're just so laughing about it. It's like the simplest thing.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Dong.
It's my favorite.
Oh, this one's my favorite. She's blowing her nose or something. Oh, he's hard laughing. Oh, it's the twins.
He's like, go fall.
Yeah. I remember doing that with our kids.
Yeah.
And like he'd pretend to sneeze and then they would start laughing so hard. Like anticipating it. See, she's pretending to sneeze too.
I mean, you can't be like, you can't be pouty and hear that. It's so
It's
beautiful.
so funny.
What we get, right? As parents, we get to take these cute little critters and just like play and have fun and teach them as they grow.
Yep.
Oh, I love
That's true. And then just seeing them like, and then when they do that little quiver
With their bottom.
when they're babies. And it's just so cute. We're like, oh, I'm so sorry. What happened? Like when they get scared.
Uh-huh.
Like that little boy. Yeah. How he was like, and then he starts laughing. We did that with Maylee once when she was like a month old or something, and she was laughing at stuff. And then all of a sudden she just like started crying and her face was quivering and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, are you okay? It scared her and made her laugh and then made her cry.
You ever make a noise that scares yourself?
Only when I've fallen asleep and then I like
It's awesome.
snort or fart or something.
Every once in a while. I mean, there's these collages of babies making noises and then be like, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I love it. I love the little ones and they grow up into people like us. Oh, and then they have more little ones. So we just try to make it better. Like every generation, we try to improve the one before. I think that's a song.
That's true.
Well, should we wrap it up?
I think we should.
Okay. What song we doing here?
I don't know. What song are we doing?
High Hopes. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I think it'll work.
This is Zozo.
Zozo.
Or Zojo.
If I hope to shoot for the sky when I couldn't make it good. Ain't nothing down, you always had a vision, always had high hopes. You had high hopes for the living. Always had a vision. I didn't think I wanted it. Always had high hopes. Mama said, fulfill the prophecy, be simply great. Regularly saying, because the destiny, back in the days we wanted everything, wanted everything. We read this history, that never running to, and you can take me every day, wanted everything, wanted everything. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated. Outside of, no more love, and I hate to see you. I hope for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make it kill it. Ain't never died, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living. Didn't know how, but I always had a feeling. It's gonna be that one in a minute. Always had high hopes. It's a hard place to spend. Like one of these memories to change, like everything, wanted everything. Stay up on the rise, and never come down. Oh, step on the rise, never come down. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated. I tried up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you leave. It's already done, but they haven't done this, and hey. And then the person who run, and it's gonna be the side of say, hey. I have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. I didn't have a doubt, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living. Didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living. Shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a time, but I always had a vision. Always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living. Didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a minute. Always had high
Really, our best
Mhm.
guide is to keep Jesus handy,
Mm-hmm. Always, always.
and make sure we know how to find him and help our kids know the same.
Yep. If you have questions, ask them.
Yep.
Because it's no if you don't ask.
That's another Papa-ism. He's good. Good stuff. He's a keeper, that's for sure.
It's true.
Sour Daddy. We like him. We love him.
We love his face.
Alrighty. Well, until tomorrow, y'all.
Yep.
10:30?
10:30 Mountain Standard Time.
All right. Have a
Tomorrow
good
morning.
day.
Have y'all. Have y'all.
Have
Have a
y'all.
good one, y'all.
Have y'all.
y'all.
Have a good day, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.